He's.
The
I don't
Tennessee
even think
what?
he's mic'd up
The
yet.
mic, the schedule,
Good
the
morning.
creative schedule that they
Good
released.
morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 307. We got all kind of things today, everybody. It's Friday. It's warm. It's real warm. We got sports. We got schedules. We are cured of the bucko fever. Lots of stuff.
Cured of the fucking fever.
Hey,
You make it sound like it's a venereal disease.
it is a venereal disease. Some would rather have a venereal disease than be a bucko fan.
That's true.
But hey, welcome everybody. This is the Friday installment of the show. One thing I do want to talk about first this morning before we get going, Derpy, you weren't in yesterday. We did talk briefly near the end of the show. Starting next week, we're going to our summer schedule.
Okay.
Which is, we're going to cut down to a half hour show. However, it's going to be all 7 days a week.
Okay.
It's going to be Monday through Sunday, half hour. And that's
Same
our summer
time.
I gotta touch base with Mike here on the show about the time. But as I said, it's a summer schedule.
So 30 minutes, half an hour.
30 minutes, half an hour.
7 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm cool with that.
Due to, Mike's work schedule and kids are out of school and summer. We're gonna peel back a little bit. However, as I said, we will add a couple additional days. So it isn't like we're missing out on anything. We will basically be doing about the same amount of time, just stretching it out a little bit to help Mike out.
You can see this smiling face.
And you get to see a panda in San Francisco right here.
Oh, Derby.
Or it might be on.
There we go. He's muted.
What was scary before you come in? It was scary before you came in. There was multiple Derpies. As we were getting set up, there was the picture of Derpy, and then there was another picture of Derpy, and they were all talking at the same time. It was and I couldn't. I don't know what the hell was happening over
there. Who knows what was going on with Derpy? Like I vaguely heard. I think he was saying my camera wasn't working because I had the camera off. I was working on some stuff. I was getting there. I was like, I'll let him panic.
Yeah, Derpy was a mess. I got in here and he was panicking. I could barely console him.
Hey, this is what happens when you miss a day. Mike doesn't know how to act when there's no Derpy around.
Yeah. He had nobody to mute. It was something, man.
Yeah, nobody to yell at.
Nobody to yell at.
I don't yell at Derpy.
Here and there. But you're right.
So the big story today, guys, of course, is this NFL schedule got released yesterday.
Yes.
I think that the schedule is rather favorable.
That week 2 is tempting.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
Don't mind me. I'm still finishing in some bacon that's between my teeth.
You yell at me when I have a piece of food in my mouth, and here you are chomping away.
Well, you're shoving it in your mouth while you're talking.
Bacon.
I'm trying to maneuver the bacon pieces from between my teeth.
Bacon does sound pretty good right now.
It's amazing. So the schedule got released. The Steelers, we have our 17-game schedule. We have a 3-game preseason schedule. We got some primetime games. We know our opener. I want to say real quick, I don't want to mention his name, but he's real fat. As a matter of fact, we should call him the super fat ass.
Hey now.
Not you. Different super fat ass.
I know who you're talking about.
Well, he is a fat ass, and he's stupid. I'm going to tell you why.
Why? He's right.
No, he's not. Listen, would you let me
you can
talk?
go ahead. I think I know where we're going with this.
Well, okay, just relax.
Okay.
So this idiot, we'll call him Eminem because he looks like he eats a lot of them. I see this morning that he says 9 wins. And I'm going to tell you why he's stupid. Because we just had 9 wins with a considerably harder schedule We had no idea who our quarterback was going to be. We slumped at the beginning of the season pretty bad. Our receivers weren't giving opportunities to do what they could do. We had a pretty soft line, albeit it held together well, protected Kenny pretty good. And there was holes in defense that we filled with this draft and free agency. And for this jackass, this super fat ass, which I he would be from our fucking city. But anyway.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not done.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I planned on it. And to say 9 wins after a 9-win season last year proves that he's far from a super genius. And as I said, the schedule is considerably easier. Matter of fact, it's the 25th hardest schedule in the league out of 32. The Eagles got the toughest schedule. And I'm sure I'm going to hear his explanation as soon as Mike starts talking, but I just can't imagine in a million years think that this team this year, being a year older, making the improvements that Omar Khan made, will win 9 games. I'll put money. I'll put money against it that they win more than 9 games. He likes to talk, to hear himself talk. He likes to talk, to get people stirred up, and I get that. It's the business. This guy's a fuck. 9 wins? You're fucking kidding me. You're out. He's out of his mind. And again, I'm sure he doesn't even believe it. He likes to get people riled up. Again, that's the business. That's fine. But I'm calling it right now. I'll put my money up against him anytime. There's no way this team is only winning 9 games or less. Go ahead, Mike.
No, he's been within 1 game of the
Ain't
Steelers
happening
record
this year.
Within like the past 5 years. He's been off by a game.
That means he hasn't got
Plus
any
or
right.
minus. He's been plus or minus off by 1.
So he hasn't guessed any.
So
correct,
he's been
what you're
like,
saying.
so
It's not horseshoes. It's not hand grenades. He hasn't
being
guessed any
within
correct.
1 loss in the prediction, that's pretty damn good.
But it's not. Yeah, you could be 5 off, and it's still the same.
5
thing.
off is bad. Being within 1 is
No, Mike.
good. Predicting a win loss before a season.
We
that's
all
good.
picked.
With all
We
the
all picked
variables
within a
going on.
game. We all did.
Yeah,
all
so
of us.
that's
We're all
good.
super geniuses.
So we're all good. Yeah. And you know what? Like why? Like, yeah, we improved, but 31 other teams in the NFL improved as well.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
And we have a huge. I know people in Pittsburgh don't want to admit it, but there is a huge question mark at the quarterback position.
See, I think you're wrong.
There's a huge question mark.
Before you go pointing fingers and say
I'm not pointing
that,
fingers. No, I'm not. I'm just saying you're going to point
You're
fingers at me and say
wrong
I don't like him because I'm
you
a Penn
totally
State fan.
ignored the fact of all the things that he did well during the season. Those are the things that you
And
never talk about.
People
And you
ignore what
brushed
he did
over
bad.
every single time we
People
talk
ignore what
about
he
it.
did bad.
You brush over those things.
And you brush over everything he did bad.
No, I don't. We talk about everything he does bad every single time we
He's
talk
a Tim
about him.
Tebow 2.0.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the stupidest
That's
thing I've
what
ever
it
heard.
is.
Where did you get
That's
that
what
from?
it is.
Eminem?
No,
Did you get that from the fat ass?
That's an MM original. That's an Mike Muller original. He is Tim Tebow
That's the stupidest thing I
2.0
ever
this
heard.
far in his career because you can't criticize him. The minute you criticize him, it's like, oh, it's because he's a Penn
That's
State
all you
fan.
do is criticize.
Oh, it's
him.
because you went to Penn State. Oh, it's because you're a Penn State fan. No, I'm pointing out actual flaws in his game. Just because I don't slob his
It
knob
would be
on
nice
every
if
little
you
thing he does.
if you consistently also talked about the things he did well, but you don't. You
I
only
do.
talk about
I
the
do
flaws, which
point out
means
the
you were
things he did
totally
well.
against the guy, which means you
I
have
do.
you
I
hold
do
no
point
weight,
out
Mike.
what he
It holds
does
no
well.
weight. If you're only going to say the bad
Well,
things,
then you
then it
only
holds
point
no
out the
weight.
good, then you hold no weight either. You think he's the greatest quarterback
I don't
ever.
think he's
so
the greatest
therefore-
quarterback ever.
Oh, you
and
talk
it's-
glowingly
and
about like
I've
he's the
openly
greatest thing
admitted
ever.
that. I've openly admitted that I don't
I've
think he's the
admitted
greatest
like when he
quarterback.
does well. I say he does well. I hope he does well, but I'm not. I criticize every single player on this team, whether I think they're the best or not. I think TJ Watt's the best defensive player in the league. I still criticize his game. I criticize Cam Hayward, but when he does something well, I point it out when he does well. But yet Kenny Pickett supporters cannot stand the
Kenny
fact
Pickett's
when he does anything wrong and he's criticized for it, it's someone else's fault. It's Matt Canada, it's the receivers, it's the line. There's no accountability
That's
towards him.
bullshit. That's,
No,
that's stupid. You're saying silly things this morning, Mike.
No, I'm not.
Did you start drinking?
Just coffee.
Oh,
Did
that
you
might be
even
the
watch the
problem.
games last year, Mike?
Yes, I did.
He
Did,
missed
did,
the
did
doubt
you
it.
guys watch
I
the
doubt
game?
it.
You guys
Yeah.
remember 4 good plays that he made. You guys want to say, "Oh, he
You're
won
wrong.
these."
There's
He
more than
had
4.
2 game-winning drives that he won, but no one wants to point out the fact that he choked away the game in Miami. If he wins that game, we're in the playoffs. But he choked it away. But we can't
As a
criticize
rookie in
him.
his
That was the
second game,
defense
yes,
more
he
than
lost the game, Mike.
offense.
As a rookie in his second
He
game,
threw
he lost the game.
he
Correct.
threw the game-losing interception, but that's okay.
Yeah, as a
That's
rookie,
okay.
that's
That's
acceptable.
okay. As
in
a
his
rookie,
second
that's
game,
okay.
Mike, in his
That's
second
okay.
game and as a pro, that's fine.
And the second game as a pro, Ben Roethlisberger was winning.
That's fine. It's 2 different people, Mike. It's not the same guy. If you're looking for Ben Roethlisberger, you better go find another team because it's not going to happen.
That's what this team needs. This team needs a Ben Roethlisberger.
We haven't
to
had
win the
Ben
Super Bowl.
Roethlisberger for 30 years after Terry Bradshaw quit. It's not going to
Yeah,
happen
and-
overnight,
and-
Mike.
And people want this kid to be Ben Roethlisberger.
People want
Terry
this kid to
Bradshaw. He's
do
not.
good
He's
because we
gonna
have
be
a
average.
football
Can
team
be.
that we love
He's
in this
mid.
city, and they
he's
like for
mid.
this kid to do good. Yes. Do they want him to be bad? Ben, that's stupid. Come
I
on.
don't want him to be. I want him to be good, but I want.
I think he get better than Ben.
The fact that he
actually.
improved.
You think
and
he's going
can't
to be
admit
better
the-
than Ben? You think he's going to be better than Ben?
Who said he's going to be bigger?
From what I've seen.
Derby. You think?
Yeah,
If he is,
from
he
what
is.
you've
If he isn't,
seen?
he's not.
7
That's
touchdowns
to
to
be
9
seen.
interceptions.
And we
How
can't
is
even
that-
argue that because that's to be seen, guys. That's the speculation. That's fine.
Those interceptions were
As
mostly on
the season
receivers.
went on,
You
and he
just
got
proved my point. Everything, all of
Every-
him,
as
all
the
of
season
everything
went
that
on,
he did wrong last year is someone else's fault.
and
Those
he got
interceptions weren't his
considerably
fault.
better.
He's not the one
That
who
is
threw
what
the
is
ball.
ignored, and that's what's disturbing to me.
No,
Because
he got-
people
he-
won't admit the fact that he did get better, and his interception rate dropped drastically in the last 8 games to 1. And
What
he
was
led
his
this team to
completion percentage?
game-winning
What was his-
drives against a rival in their city. None of these things are talked about. These are all overlooked because
People,
somebody.
they ask, oh, you scroll through Twitter, it's him throwing the same 4 passes. That is it. But no one wants to talk about his bad stuff.
That's all we talk about. That's all
That's
we talk
people-
about.
No, that's all people talk about is his good stuff. I've been saying for the past
Because
2
it's our
months, I want him
quarterback.
to improve.
It's
I
our
want him to
quarterback. We're
improve.
not going to sit around and badmouth our quarterback. What kind of fan does that? That's a stupid fan.
I'm not going to
You and
badmouth him.
Fat
I
Fuck.
want you have
Let
to
alone
talk.
a
You
rookie
have
You
to
and- you and
you have
Fat
to
Fuck
speak
up there.
objectively.
You can
have to
agree on
speak
your 9
objectively.
wins because that's not going to happen. I'll put my money against it. I'll put my money
I'll
against
put your
you.
I'll put money on it. I'll put
Please,
money on
let's do it because you're not going to win.
it. This team will win 9 to 10 games.
See, I knew you.
I'm being objective. They
You're
will
being
win
Mark
9 to
Madden.
10 games. They
You
will
never
win
say
9 to 10.
anything opposite of what he says. It's insane. We might just start calling you Mark.
That's fine. Call me Mark Madden. I
I'm
don't
not
care.
calling you Mark
Don't
Madden.
call
I'm
Double
calling
M
you Mark.
Jr. I don't care.
A Mark. That's what you're being. A Mark.
You're being a mark by thinking the Steelers are going to win.
Mike, I
more
think they're
than
going to
10,
win more
12
than
games.
9 games. Yes, I do. I'm a Mark for thinking they're going to improve. Okay, that's
I
fine.
think they're.
I
You
think
can
I'm gonna prove
improve.
you wrong.
can improve, and the record doesn't mean you can have the same record and still improve.
Mike, I'm putting a real big because if
You
you
could-
feel that they're going to have 9 wins, I
Yeah.
do want to take your action on
I
that.
said 9 to 10. 9 to 10 wins.
Oh, now you're going to see. That's
Roll
why
the
you
tape
can't.
back.
With
I
you.
said they will win 9 to 10
you,
games.
you don't. You're inconsistent.
No,
can't-
I said they will win 9 to 10 games.
I'll
I
bet with
literally said they
Derby.
will win 9 to 10 games.
At least Darby ain't going to change.
I said they will win 9 to 10 games.
Okay.
Roll
You know
back
what? I'll
the
even
tape.
take that.
So you're taking the over on 10 wins. You're taking over 10 wins.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
I know. I hope they do.
No, you
I
don't.
hope. Yes, I do. I
No,
want
you
my team
don't.
to win.
You've
Super
never
Bowl.
said anything that ever indicated that you do. Everything that you said indicates that you don't.
Did I not
So
say
what should people believe? What should listeners believe?
did I
Person
not
that they hear, or something that's in your mind that you think that
Well, hey, I do have a problem with thinking I said something and I did not say it. I have multiple people that can back me up on that one. But no, I said leading up to the draft, if Kenny Pickett improves, like this team can go far, and I want him to improve. I want him to go far. I want him to win Super Bowls. If he turns out,
And
if he
Bacon's
turns out to
good.
be better than Ben Roethlisberger, I'd fucking love it because that means my team would win.
He has
But-
the it factor like Ben, though.
He does have an it factor.
Tebow had the it factor.
No, Tebow had
and
no
look at
it
Look what
factor.
happened.
Tebow was
He
nothing.
had no it factor.
Tebow beat the Steelers in the playoffs, baby.
Oh, I remember
He
that.
embarrassed
Believe me.
Dick LeBeau. He
That was our
embarrassed this team.
defense.
He embarrassed that team. That lucky throws, make a throw here or there, make a play here or there at the end of the game. You got to keep the game close. That's what Pickett is.
See,
that's
that's stupid.
That's
It's Mike.
That's what
stupid.
Tebow was. You got to keep the game close.
That's what
He's not gonna
anybody
go
has
out
to
there-
do. Mike,
he's not
think
gonna
around
have
the
a
league.
do-
Anybody has to do that. That's how you win games.
But he's not going to
Keep the
win
game
a
close.
quarterback duel against Burrow.
I don't understand what
Jalen
you're
Hurts.
talking about.
He's not one of those
Madden.
guys like you can sit
Reality
back
that
there
you're
and
talking
let him.
about. I think
He's
you're
not
way
going to
off.
throw for 3, 4, 500 yards a game.
And
3,
again,
4, 5 touchdowns a game. He's not that guy.
who is that?
Kenny Pickett is
Tebow.
not that guy.
Now, who'd you say is that guy? Mike,
No, I would say
there's like
it's our
6 guys in the history of the
coordinator
league that's
swallowing
that guy, Mike. Good luck finding them anytime in
And that's what you
in
need
your life.
to be win and to be successful. And this is what
Good luck
Kenny
finding that
Pickett fans
guy
are saying.
anytime.
This is what he
We
is.
might not see that guy for the rest of our lives. It took 30 years to get him last time.
You see on Twitter people
Bobby
going,
Brisker,
fans going like
Mark Malone,
this guy's like Joe Burrow.
Neil
He is the it
O'Donnell.
factor.
You have to stop listening to the people that tweet. That's your problem.
That's
You
Steelers
don't
fans
form
right
a
there.
thought.
That is the
You all
Steelers
you
fans.
do is look what
That
people
is the
are
pulse of
saying.
the Pittsburgh Steelers fans is what you see
don't
on
have
Twitter,
a
they
thought.
are that's what everyone.
I don't care what people are saying. I want to hear what you have to say. I don't care what people are saying. I read Twitter too, and if I
and
cared
you're
what they
repeating
thought,
what they say of how Kenny Pickett's this great
Mike, I'm not
quarterback.
agreeing. I'm giving you my thought. This is
You know what, P, I am going to count
better
the
than 9 and 10, and I'm
games.
willing to go at least $1,000 on this.
He was
At
built
least.
like Sasquatch, man, but he was fleet of foot.
At least $1,000.
I'm going to say this about Pickett. I wasn't a fan of him when they drafted him.
I can get this bacon out of my tooth.
I was the idiot that wanted Willis, and look where it is now.
Yeah, Mike did too.
I didn't want any of them.
From what I've
You
seen,
wanted Willis. You was mad when we got Pickett. We didn't
I was
get
mad
Willis.
when we got Pickett because I
Willis
still
is
am mad.
Gonna be more game ready. Willis is dumb enough. He can't even read. He can't remember plays. This guy's an idiot.
Now you're just. How do you know he
from
doesn't
what
remember
I've seen
plays?
though with Kenny,
Because I read it in a Tennessee article about 6 months ago.
Oh, can I see said article?
If you could please look it up, Mike.
You look it up.
Mike, I have 6 tablets here full of information
I got screens here full of information. I got binders
from
full of
every show
information.
that I've ever done for 2 years.
Bacon still in your teeth.
Yeah. But if you look deep, that's the thing. You don't want to find these things. You don't want it to go against your narrative. And I get that.
No, I want it. I asked for the information.
Mike, it was 6 months ago. It was in November when they sat the guy because he couldn't play when there was no other quarterbacks because he was too stupid.
So a developmental quarterback wasn't ready by midseason.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that the young quarterbacks still need to develop. Oh,
Kenny Pickett was called the most pro-ready quarterback to come out of the draft.
Quarterback develop as a rookie.
Was a developmental quarterback.
This is mine. This is earth-shaking news to Eminem over here.
What? That a developmental quarterback that was going to have to sit a year wasn't ready by half the year. Like the most pro-ready quarterback, the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft.
They don't even
throw
want
7
him.
touchdowns.
They can't even get rid of this guy.
The most pro-ready quarterback in the draft, though, can only throw 7 touchdowns, 9 picks on 2. He can only
admit
make
it was
2
the
reads.
weakest. It was a weak quarterback draft.
It was a very weak quarterback
We were
draft.
expecting Joe Burrow results, and we knew that. I knew that.
Go ask Yinzer fans, man. They think that Joe Burrow and George Pickens are better than Jamar Chase and or Kenny Pickett.
Joe Burrow and George Pickens aren't on the same team.
I know. I was getting ahead of myself here.
I guess.
Yeah. God, I wish we had Joe Burrow on this team because we would definitely be a Super Bowl contender.
Fuck him. Fuck Joe Burrow. Fuck the Bengals. We're the Steelers. I don't care. Listen, if we
one team has had a whole hell of a lot more success recently than the other.
Mike, they have had 2 years of success and they're fucking. I don't care about them.
They've had more success.
You know what? I'm going to say this.
Mike, they haven't had more success than we have.
The Browns have won a playoff game more recently than the Steelers.
Mike, and this team hasn't had a better record than we had since 1988.
We have nothing to talk about.
Your arguments
we haven't been relevant since
are you just making dumb stuff up out of the air to talk? I don't get it.
No, I'm just saying.
Mike, this team hasn't had a better record than us since 1988. Why would you bring up the Browns?
Yeah, but they beat us in the playoffs. They beat us in the playoffs.
It happens. It's a football game. Mike, it's competition. Some teams are going to win. Some teams are going to lose.
Yeah, and they've had more success recently than the Steelers have. They've
recently. Okay, that's fun. Recently,
they have.
I know they have.
But
objectively, they haven't done anything in the past 40 years, and they haven't.
We haven't done anything in the past 11.
Not one time has this team had a better record than us since 1988. That's
what's the last time
apples and oranges. What you're talking about? You're bringing apples and oranges to the party, and you're trying to pass them off as the same thing. That's crazy. It's silly.
When is the last time the Steelers won a playoff game?
We talk about it all the time. I don't know, 5 years ago, 6, whatever it was. I don't care.
I
that's
say
what I'm
this-
saying.
What
The
does that
Browns
have
and
to
the
do with
Bengals have
anything we're
more
talking about
recent
right
success.
now?
They've had more recent success than we
Good,
have.
good for them. Cleveland, that's your team, Mike. I know.
No, it's not my team.
You
I'm
claim
putting
them every
things
year,
into
and
perspective.
that is your
For-
team.
I'm putting things into perspective. Like,
You're not putting things into perspective. You're
yes,
talking,
we
you're
haven't won a
talking
playoff
silly.
game in like 6-7 years. We haven't.
That's
we,
okay.
we are not a relevant franchise. We haven't.
We
done
are a
anything
very
in the
relevant
playoffs.
franchise.
In the history,
And I
of
think
the yes, but most recently,
anybody,
not
and
right
people that
now.
aren't Steeler fans
Not
will
right
tell
now.
you that we're a relevant franchise. So again, Mark, I just you're way
Go
off.
ahead. Like, I'm sorry, I'm putting out facts. I'm speaking logically. Like,
It's stupid facts. That's
like we haven't
Yes, we haven't won a play. Okay, what do you want me to
won a
do?
playoff game in how long?
Okay.
We haven't been a threat in the league in how long? It's
Because
true.
that's
It
pro
sucks.
sports.
Yes, it's
You
sucks.
can't be a
Sports in
threat
general.
every single year. You
And
can't be a threat.
New England was the threat for 20 fucking years in a row.
But before that, they weren't for 50 years in a row. So
But you know, hey, the NFL is all
Hey,
about what have you done
the
for me
Patriots,
lately?
they don't have a,
We
they're
haven't done
not as
anything
successful
lately.
as the Bengals are. Does that make the Bengals better than the Patriots?
No, because they've won more recently. They've won like 6 Super Bowls in the past 20 years.
Mike,
They've won more.
They've
But
won
we
6
haven't been-
Super Bowls in it. Mike,
No, I'm just saying, like, look, we really haven't done anything in the past
Okay,
6,
then
7
that's
years.
fine.
And the other
That's
teams
the
have.
past.
So we have nothing really to brag about right now.
They haven't done anything.
we're sounding like
Cincinnati hasn't
Steelers-
won no Super Bowl. Buffalo
They-
hasn't won no Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
But we're, right now, in the past 5 years, they have been more successful than we have.
Hey,
They've
guess
gone
what? In the
further than
past
we
30
have.
years, we've won too. So, pick amount of years
Yeah.
and make that your
we
argument.
sound,
Is what I'm saying.
we sound like Steelers fans in the 80s and the 90s who haven't won a damn
It's
thing.
a dumb argument.
No, what by pointing out their most recent history.
Why would we even? Why? Why would you even do that? Who cares? I don't care what they're doing. I don't give 2 shits what Cincinnati's doing.
I do, because they're in our division. They are like the
They're the
division
Bungles.
right now
They'll
runs
always
through
be the Bungles.
Cincinnati. We have
Until
beat
the Bungles
Cincinnati.
do anything. I mean, they should have swept us last year.
They should have, but
And
for
they
a
didn't.
snap,
They
but
They
for a
couldn't
backup
beat us
long
2
snapper.
always
games
beat
last
the
year. They couldn't
Browns.
beat the
But for
Pittsburgh
but
Steelers,
for
who they're
a
so much
injury
more
to a long
successful
snapper,
than.
they would
Where
have beat us.
they only won 2 more games or 3 more games than we won last year. You would have thought this team would.
But yet they went to the playoffs and we did not. We were on the outside looking in. They have
Mike,
been more
we went to the
successful.
playoffs for how many years in a row? Come on, dude.
Yeah, in that time period, we were more successful than them. But now they're more
Exactly.
successful
That's
than
what
us
sports
right now.
is. You don't
Yes,
win the
and I'm trying to
championship
put
every
that
year.
into
I
our head.
thought
Like, we
you
have
knew
like
this.
the Steelers and the Steelers fans.
thought this
we
was
have
your
no reason to talk
argument.
about anything. Like, we haven't done anything in the past 6-7 years. It sucks. We need to do more.
Hey, we won as many Super Bowls as the Bengals did in the last 6 or 7 years, man.
Yeah, but they've been to more Super Bowls in the past 6 or 7 years than we have. They've
Hey,
gotten closer.
Guess what? They didn't win. Maybe. Hey,
They-
how many
they
the Bills went to
hey,
in a
we didn't
row?
win the last time we were there.
Mike, they went to 4. They went to 4 in a row. That would make this team the best team ever if you're going by your logic.
No,
Buffalo Bills were the best team ever because they
no,
went to 4
they were
Super
better
Bowls
than
in
the
a row.
Steelers in that
Guess
era.
what? Nobody's ever going to remember that because they didn't win any. The Bengals
people-
are
people
irrelevant.
still remember-
They're
people
still
still talk
irrelevant.
about that
And
team.
until they can prove that they can win in this league, they're going to be irrelevant.
Well, then, by your logic, Kenny Pickett's irrelevant because he hasn't done anything in this league. And so we
Okay.
shouldn't be talking about
If-
him.
See how stupid, Derby?
No, see how stupid it is when I throw your logic back into your face? He hasn't won
Because these
anything.
are
He's
dumb
irrelevant.
arguments. I mean,
He's
come on,
irrelevant.
man.
He's irrelevant. He hasn't done anything.
I
this
guess you
week.
could
He's
say that
irrelevant.
about Saquon then too.
I guess
Yeah,
you
fine
could
then,
say
he's
that about
irrelevant.
Barkley. I guess you could say
But
that
Saquon
about
Barkley won NFL Rookie of the Year, so he has history in the league.
Barkley's a bum. He's a Penn State ped. Screw
Oh,
him.
okay. So fine then. Every Pitt player fucking sucks just because they went to Pitt. Fuck them, they suck. They haven't done anything this league. Fuck them, they suck. They all suck. Every Pitt
Better than
player
Penn
sucks.
State, I can tell you that.
Every Pitt player sucks.
Mm-hmm.
They all suck.
And I can prove you wrong on that.
They all suck.
Man, what a dumb argument.
Yeah, I know you made a dumb one. Just because
Penn
you don't
State,
win
come
here,
on.
you're so Dan
This is
Marino.
the best argument
that you've had
What's
Marino,
the
Marino.
last irrelevant
So-
player that's
so-
ever come out of
so-
Penn State? Don't
So
even say
Dan Marino-
Saquon Barkley.
So Dan
What's he
Marino.
done?
So Dan Marino is irrelevant because he
Yeah,
never
he's the
won a
best,
Super
one of the
Bowl.
best quarterbacks ever.
He never won a Super Bowl. He's irrelevant. People don't remember if you
Look
don't win a
at
Super
Joe
Bowl. He's
Burrow at
irrelevant.
the end of his career is what I'm saying. I might have said that he was irrelevant while he was playing because he
He's
wasn't. winning
irrelevant.
Super
Dan
Bowls.
Marino is irrelevant. You heard it here first, folks. One of
There
the
you
best
go.
quarterbacks of all time is irrelevant because he didn't win a Super Bowl.
All I know, hey, our Pittsburgh listeners get to make their own minds up. I tell them not what to think, what to say,
No,
take
that's
the
what you
arguments,
just said.
people,
You just said
and
people
you
who
make
don't
your
win
minds up and
championships
think
are
what you
irrelevant.
want.
That's
And I
literally
think
what
that
you
I
just
know
said.
which way they're going to lean, but we do have to go on. I can't continue these silly arguments. Like we have
And
a
because
lot
you
to
keep
talk
losing.
about today.
But you
We
keep
have the
losing.
schedule that came out yesterday.
Can I say this as an Ohio State fan?
Oh God.
Oh, jeez, this is even
I
worse.
know.
That's one
No,
way
it's
to
not
unite
worse. But
Mike and
what?
Ryan
What?
again.
Yes, what?
Basically, I'd rather have Kenny Pickett, who broke Dan Marino's record, over a guy that quits because he gets beat out.
I agree.
Who
But-
are we talking about?
Joe Burrow.
So
Hey.
you don't want a national championship winning quarterback.
He quit. He got
You
beat
don't-
out and then transferred.
Quitter. He's a quitter.
So Derby, if you fail,
Oh, now he's going to jump to you.
Say if you don't get
we
a,
can't
if you
do
don't
this
get a
all show,
promotion
Mike. We
at
have things
work,
to talk
so if
about.
you don't get a promotion at work, you're just going to keep working in a place that doesn't value. You're not going to go
Yes,
find somewhere else to
people
work
do
to
that,
get
Mike.
your
That's
value.
called life, son. It's
Yeah,
life.
that's what Joe Burrow did. He went to a place where he was valued.
Yeah.
And look what
okay.
happened.
Good.
He
Joe
won a national
Burrow. Yeah, there we
championship.
go. Another one of Mike's
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
Everybody,
a
make your
damn
mind
good
up.
quarterback.
Again, you make your own opinions. I can't tell you what to think. We
Oh,
have the schedule.
we can't talk about anyone good here unless they went to Pitt or
Mike,
play
don't
for
you
the
want to talk about the
Steelers.
schedule? I
Aw.
don't understand. I thought the point.
I
today
don't
was-
understand you, man. You're just going off the rails today.
I'm not going off the rails.
You are, man.
I'm not. You're being stupid.
You are. You're being stupid.
I'm not being stupid.
You're being stupid.
I'm being very logical.
You're being a
giving you
big
many of
poopy head.
opportunity to make sense, and it's just
I've
not
made a
happening.
lot
So
of sense here.
I think that
you're
we have to
being illogical.
continue on because nobody wants to hear about Joe Burrow.
No,
None of
I
our
wanna hear
listeners want to
about
listen.
Joe Burrow.
None of our listeners do. So go start your Ohio podcast where you talk about.
I'll
stupid shit.
start my podcast about great quarterbacks, and it'll be
Please
called the Not
do.
Kenny
Please.
Pickett podcast.
What was the last part?
It'll be called the Not Kenny Pickett podcast.
Please do. I wish you would. I really do.
You know what? I'm changing the name of the title of the show right now.
No, come on.
Ryan would have a stroke on air.
Everybody in the city would hate us by the end of the day. And I don't
They
think
already
that's the
hate
point.
me.
I know, and that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Derpy looking around like when mom and dad are fighting.
See now, and here's
That's
another
what
thing.
he-
The AFC
Let me just dip-
North
let me just
projected
dip
win
out of this
totals,
sentence.
guys.
You're good.
Is
good,
they're
Derpy.
saying Cincinnati's only going to win 11 games? Come on, that's crazy. They're saying that the Cleveland Browns are going to win 9. That's crazy. They're going to say Baltimore and Pittsburgh are only going to win 8. That's crazy. I think that Cincinnati is easily going to be 14-3. I'm not
Well,
talking players up.
No. That just I haven't looked at their schedule yet. Holy shit.
They get a tough schedule, but I mean, when it comes down to it, they basically have the same schedule that we do. But they do play Buffalo. They play the first place schedule, of course.
Yeah.
Now the AFC, the projected win total is 11.5 for Cincy. Under too bad. That they're winning at least 14 games, if not
Yeah.
13.
Damn.
Cleveland 9.3.
I just don't see it.
They're gonna win 6 at the most. Baltimore 8.9. Pittsburgh in last with 8.6. I disagree with that. I think we're going to do better. I think we're going to win at least 11 to 12 games. I think Cincinnati's going to win 13 to 14 games. I think Baltimore's going to be right behind us. I think Cleveland's going to be where they always are. And there's not really been anything to show me otherwise because Cleveland did what they did last year.
Mhm.
And so do we. You could say that as well. But just from, being a fan and watching the ups and downs of football seasons for the past 40 years of my life, those are the vibes I get. Cincinnati's going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games. They have a good team. So I was following the leaks all day yesterday, like everybody else was. Let me tell you what, the fan, they were pretty accurate. Right before the game or before the announcements last night of the schedule, most of the information on their schedule was accurate, with the exception of a couple of things, but it was good enough for me. We're going to go over the schedule here in just a moment. On top of what the Steelers are scheduled to do.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
That was the best argument out of all of them.
Which one is that?
So this one right here, this episode today
Oh,
was the best
we
argument
didn't even get started.
That's
out
not
of
even an
all of them
argument.
that I
We're halfway into the show. We haven't even got started yet.
This is us just clearing our throats.
We got Thanksgiving games, we got Black Friday games, we got Christmas games, we got New Year's games.
Week
It's gonna
2
be a-
looks so tempting to go to.
It's gonna be a banging season, man. We got 4 primetime games with the possibility of more. A couple of the to be determined games late in the season could also very well turn into primetime games.
I'm not liking the Monday night games just because it ruins my work schedule.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
You
like,
know what, just as a person that doesn't work Monday night, I generally hate Monday night games in general because you have to wait all week and watch everybody else's
Yes.
team, and then on Monday you got to wait all day.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like I like the Sunday night game doesn't bother me. I don't work Mondays, but I work Tuesdays And Goodell, you should have thought about me when you made the schedule.
That's what I'm saying.
We
get no respect here.
No respect. This should have been all Sunday night games, and these Thursday night games can bump off down the road just out of pure spite and principle.
Let me say something nice though. You want to hear something nice?
Fine, we need something nice.
We're only 90 days away from preseason.
Oh, I can't wait.
We're only 120 days away from the Steelers playing against the 49ers.
Rookie camp starts today. Hakeem Butler is not at rookie camp.
Who is?
Hakeem Butler.
No, he's not.
No,
he got hurt on the way.
Mark Caboli, he was saying, it was claimed that he signed that rookie deal and he's not there. So I don't know what's going on.
I mean, all sweaty. Fuck you. Damn.
It's that bacon, not
first the bacon, now this.
The bacon, the
hot mess. But we play San Francisco to lead off the season. I think this is a great way to start off the season. I'm going to be honest. I want this game first. It's going to be the toughest game. And as we get San Francisco, Cincinnati gets Cleveland. And I can't think of who Baltimore. I think it's somebody like Houston or something like this. So, whether we win or we lose, I think this is just a great litmus game. And I'm not giving San Francisco the win right off the bat. I think, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen. And, all we have to do is figure out a way to outcoach them and outplay. I think it's going to be, I think it's a good game. And
what we get to settle on that.
As a matter of fact, I thought many of times while we were anticipating this schedule to be released, I thought to myself, it would be crazy if we got San Francisco in that first game. It would be crazy. I just had this feeling in my heart that we were going to get Cleveland, which ended up being the second game.
Mm-hmm.
But San Francisco is the first game. The last time we played San Francisco in Pittsburgh, we won 43-18. And Big Ben, boy, did he have a great day that day. Big Ben went 21 for 27, 369 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Efficient. He was an efficient quarterback.
What year was that?
He was one of the best, man. One of the best that ever played. I don't know the year, Derpy.
It's just like one of those weird Ben stat lines. You would see him throw like, Ben was like, 11 of 13, 260 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You're like,
what?
It was most of it was done in the first half.
Yeah.
You know what's exciting about that first game?
What's
we
that?
get to settle the debate. Who's better, Purdy versus Pickett?
Oh, I don't even think we might not even see
think
Purdy.
Purdy's going to even play, dude.
He's not even going to play. Dang it!
Yeah, his elbows all.
Even if he does play, I'm not. Come on.
No. If Purdy would win, Derpy would say, it's just because of the team around him.
I have a mindset that I'm not, as a Steeler fan, I'm not scared of any team. I just, you're not going to win every game, but you can't be scared of people, go into the mindset that, what.
That's why Mark Caboli has the Steelers going 20-0. Every day on Twitter, that's all I see is 20-0.
Other thing I'll mention though.
What's that?
Sports at any level in general is all about matchups, motivation, and playing your best at the right time.
Absolutely, man. Having a really good team helps too. And I think Buffalo's going to have a great season. I think Cincinnati's going to have a great season. I think Philadelphia's. These are where your premier quarterbacks in the league are. These are teams that are built nice. They're going to win their games. There's no two ways about it. They're going to be the teams that are sitting in atop their divisions and their records, and that's fine. That's we don't have to be that team all the time.
You have like 8 teams where like when they're on, they're going to win, and it's going to be easy. And every other team in the league, the 24 other teams in the league, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight.
It's going to turn, and also
to score points, and
the bottom 10 teams are going to be the bottom 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, teams improved. Yes, teams got players. Yes, teams did this. But you're always going to have teams that fill the 22 through 32, and it ends up being the same thing every year. It was teams that expected to play well. It's teams that started with the name Cleveland. These teams are always going to be bad, and it is what it is. And I've come to accept that.
And you have and then like there's that big gap in the middle of like another. Well, there's probably like 5-6 really great teams. Those bottom 10, and then everyone else is fighting in the middle, fighting.
I tend to look at it this way:
make it to the playoffs.
Your top 10 are your teams that are going to win football games. Your middle 10 are going to be in the middle, fighting it out, and they could fall either way. They could fall in the good teams, they could fall in the bad teams, and then there's your last 10 that are all bad. And then with the the difference is 2 games, and you kind of throw them anywhere. But even your Minnesota, who might fall into number 10. let's just say, for an example, I mean, they're definitely, you're not your 1 through 5. They're not your Philadelphia. They're not Kansas City. They're not Buffalo. They're not Cincinnati. But let's say the Minnesota or the Giants or somebody like that. They're still, they fit into that top 10 because they're going to win their games. They're going to win their division. They're going to win a lot of the games that they're supposed to. And you know what? They might even have good games against teams like Kansas City and the teams that I mentioned earlier. I think the Steelers are just really close to being on that fence. And I think we're going to find out a lot about this team this year. I think they could fall into the top 10 or they could fall out. I just, it's a lot to be determined. Here's the thing. I mean, geez, oh man, I don't know what the percentage of this team is that wasn't here last year.
It's a huge chunk. It was something like at least 11 free agents left.
That's what I'm saying. So, we don't even know. We can't even make an accurate prediction because I don't even know half these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know Landon Roberts. I don't know Cole Holcomb.
No,
they seem good. They're making it sound good. But you know what? Watching ESPN, I've never heard these guys being praised like the Ray Lewis, for crying out loud. Let's go over this schedule, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about each game briefly. We're gonna give a prediction and see where we all land at the end of the season on where we think the team's going to be. It's going to be fair. We're not going to throw punches. We're going to go through them, give your prediction on whether you think they're going to win, whether they're not going to win. And as I said, and we'll get a kind of an accurate idea of where we're at just in general.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
Let's do it.
San Francisco is the first game of the year. I think the toughest game of the year. I dig the fact that they get it out of the way early. If you played later in the year, you might have a different result. You might, they might have people injured. We might be playing good. It could be, we don't know. So right off the top, the Steelers play San Francisco at home, opening weekend. Derpy, to be honest, there's no reason to sugarcoat anything. Do you think that the Steelers are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers in week 1?
You know what? Yeah.
All right, Derpy's gonna go with the win. Any explanation or reason, or is that just your gut feeling?
Quarterback situation.
Fair enough. Mike, week 1, 49ers. I think that, like I said, I think this is one of the most intriguing matchups of the year.
I do too. I'm gonna go with the 49ers in a close one. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think 49ers pulling out.
I think the Steelers are going to win. Here's why I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be like the Bengals game last year at the beginning of the season. It's at home. And I think that San Francisco has a better team than we do. I mean, their defense was amazing. They were number 2 in the league last year, number 1 maybe. They have a lot of good things going on. But again, it's at home. I'm going to go with the win, and this isn't really based on anything. This is basically just my gut feeling at the time. I really can see us losing this game, but just for this right now, what we're doing, I'm going to say they win against San Francisco. Week 2 is a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken, against the Cleveland Browns at home. We'll go backwards. I say the Steelers win this game.
I do too. I think we're going to win that one.
Derpy might be
win. I'm hoping to be at that game because it's.
You said this is for your birthday.
A day prior to my birthday.
That'd be good, man. You could bring plenty of good luck.
Yes.
Let's move on to week 3. They travel outside of the Allegheny County. They go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
Who's the quarterback now?
Who is their quarterback now? It's somebody. Oh, Jimmy G.
Yeah, they got Jimmy G.
I'm gonna start with you, Mike.
I'm gonna go with
that's an interesting scenario for the Raiders.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. They're gonna pull this one out on the road. It's a primetime game. Mike Tomlin loves his primetime games. The Steelers love their primetime games. It's hard to try to picture the last time like a Cowher-led team or Tomlin-led team lost a primetime game.
I'm gonna say we're losing. I say we lose to the Raiders.
Ooh,
and the reason why is it's so hard to beat Oakland on the road, or the Raiders on the road. It's always been hard to beat the Raiders on the road. Back in the 70s, it was hard to beat the Raiders on the road. In the Big Ben era, it was impossible to beat the Raiders on the road. I'm going to say this is our first loss of the season. Derpy, what do you think? Raiders, primetime.
I'm gonna go with you.
A loss on that one?
Yeah, loss.
I don't know. I get this vibe every time we play the Raiders on the road because I just can't. I can't personally think of any time in my life that we beat them on the road.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm going to like, hey, it's in Las Vegas now. We
I
don't
know.
have to go to LA. We don't have to go to Oakland.
There's a
different
whole new
environment
energy
now.
there.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a new energy now.
you know. So then we travel. We go from Vegas to Houston. Play Houston on the road. Houston's a pretty bad team. They made some, nice picks in the draft this year. However, I don't think that's going to be enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the fourth game of the season. I'm going to take a W. I'm putting a W down for the Steelers on the Texans game. What do you think, Derpy?
Well, I think we win the next two. Be 5-1 going into the bye.
All right, so you got them down for a W on the
Texans.
Texans. Mike, what do you think about the Houston Texans?
Yeah, I think we're going to win
second
that
week
one.
game on the road in a row.
Yeah, I think we win that one. Like even if CJ Stroud starts, it's way too early for him.
I think we're clobbering them.
Yeah, like that's why the Steelers were smart by throwing out Mitch early in the year last year, and hopefully the Texans are smart, throw out Chase Daniels, but I don't think they will. I think we win that one, and I just want to say, if Broderick Jones starts his first game, he has to go up against Bosa. Second game, Garrett. Third game, Max Crosby. Fourth game, potentially Will Anderson Jr., who he played in college and handled pretty well. But that's a 4-game murderer's row right there for
it's good. Yeah,
for Broderick Jones.
That's a
Especially
gauntlet
those
right
first
there.
three. Those first three, you're going up against pros. You're going up against all stars.
That's a
People who
gauntlet
did Pro
right there.
Bowls. Simple. We want to say about Myles Garrett. He's a beast. You know, Max Crosby's a beast. The Bosas, I forget which one they have, Nick or Joey Bosa. All the Bosa boys are fucking beasts. So it's going to be Broderick Jones is getting thrown to the fire, and I think he's gonna rise to the occasion.
And we got to think though. I mean, that's very good point. And you know what? They got to watch out for our guys too. Jimmy G, Deshaun Watson, whoever plays for San Francisco. Let's move on, guys. Fifth game of the season, Derpy. You've already credited the win to the Steelers on this Baltimore game, correct?
Yeah, it's home.
And it is the home game before the bye week. I'm going to say we lose this game. We're going to lose this game at home to Baltimore because we're going to win on the road at the very last game of the year against Baltimore.
You stole my thunder. You stole my thunder, right?
You know what?
And this is the game right before the bye. So I could see us having maybe something happens, maybe a late fumble, just something crazy. And then we say, well, we could go into the bye, regroup, and then come back after, and then we're not coming out decent after the bye because we generally do. I'm giving the L to the Steelers on the game against the Ravens at home. Mike.
Me too. I have us losing that game. Starting off 3-2 to start the season. I think that's a good start.
Yeah,
way better than last year.
Yeah, definitely.
And
a sense of direction too. We didn't. That was what was most discouraging. Is there was no sense of direction. There was no identity. You were just like, what the fuck are we going to have this week? What kind of
Yeah, and I think 3-2, if it doesn't come out the way I predict, as long as they win 3 coming out of the first 5, I'm happy.
I got 3 wins also here, so I mean we're on the same boat. We're not too far off. They're going to come back from the bye, and they're going to hop into an airplane, and they're going to fly to Los Angeles to play the Rams. Now the Rams was one of the worst teams in the league last year. Yes, they do have Aaron Donald. Yes, they do have some mighty fine players out there, but I just think coming off the bye.
They added some underrated players in the draft.
They've even lost a few guys. I just as I said,
that quarterback though.
I'm gonna have to give the Steelers the win on this. It's right after the bye. Derpy, who do you like?
I'm gonna agree.
Win.
Quarterback situation isn't the best either.
Mike, what do you think about the Rams? Week off and then going to LA to play the Rams.
Yeah, I think we win that one. I have that one penciled in as a win for the Steelers.
All right, we will move on. Then we go home,
lose,
play to Jacksonville, and this is one of the tricky games. This team went to the playoffs last year. Trevor Lawrence is a beast. When you're looking at the schedule, people are going to automatically give us the win just because. However, getting wins against Jacksonville at home hasn't always been easy. Jacksonville tends to play us very tough at home. Historically, as do the Raiders on the road. It's the same kind of feel. I'm gonna give the Steelers an L in the Jacksonville home game. Mike,
I am too. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. That Jacksonville team, people want to say they kind of fluked into it last year. That team has been building the right way for a few years now.
they got a nice team, man.
They have a nice team. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Jacksonville ekes it out.
I mean, they came back 27 points last year in the play. Wasn't that playoff first round? Jeez.
Yeah. Completely different team in the second half. They came out of nowhere.
Then we remain at home against the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans, who the Tennessee Titans are always going to play you tough. They're just one of these franchises. They're physical. They're always a tough game. It's at home. However, I'm giving the Steelers the win on this one. Darby, what did you say about Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think we take a loss on that one.
Okay. And then also Tennessee. I'm calling a win in the Tennessee game. What do you think, Derby?
It's Thursday night. I'm gonna go Steelers in this one.
Got the win. What do you think about Tennessee, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers on that one. I have us penciled in for a win there.
All right. So far, so good. Nobody's killed one another yet. Green Bay. Well,
Steelers by a mile.
Wait a minute here. This is 3 straight home games.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
Interesting.
Green Bay, you know what? Green Bay is going to be one of these teams. They have ups. They're going to have downs. They're going to win games when you don't think they're going to win. They're going to lose games when you don't think they're going to lose. I just think it's going to take a year or two to really build a new identity for Jordan Love, for this Green Bay team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers left. He took basically everybody with him. I think it's going to take a season or two before these Green Bay Packers really get a feel for what they are. They're going to attempt to do some of the things that they've done in the past because it's what they do. However, I think the Green Bay is going to need a season or two. And I think this kind of a team is a team that the Steelers could beat. I'm taking a win against Green Bay. Mike.
I'm taking Green Bay in this one just because it feels like that game. Like you should win this one. And
that's how Jacksonville feels to me.
Yeah, like I think this is the one that, God, 3 games at home, you're hoping to win all 3, maybe 2 out of 3. I think we go 1-3 on the homestand.
Okay, fair enough.
I hate to be that guy.
You're fine, man.
Just that feeling. You know how Steelers teams are.
You know how I always respect your opinion.
Just like I respect yours.
Derpy, who do you think on the Green Bay at the Steelers game? This is Sunday,
Steelers
November
by a mile.
Steelers on that? Okay.
Yeah. The
All
quarterback situation isn't the best.
Then we go on the road to Cleveland. I think that we're beating Cleveland
Sweep
both times this year. I really do. So I'm taking I'm putting a W on the Cleveland game. Mike, I think you might be thinking differently though.
No, I am taking the sweep.
Are you? Okay.
I am taking the sweep.
All right. Derby, Cleveland, in Cleveland.
I am taking the team with 6 Super Bowls, okay?
Okay.
Instead of a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. So
fair enough. Speaking of teams that hasn't won a Super Bowl, we then go to Cincinnati. Where do we didn't play them?
I think we lose.
Do we play Cincinnati yet?
No.
At Cincinnati.
At
Cincinnati.
I think we lose the one in Cincinnati and we win the one in Pittsburgh is going to be what I'm going to say when I eventually get there. So, yes, this game here, I'm putting an L down.
So am I. I think the Esca loser will be the Esca winner. We want to have sad Bengals fans. It'll be sad Steeler fans taking the Esca loser.
All right,
unfortunately.
Derby. Bengals on the road.
I'm going to go loss.
All right.
Because history.
No, you're good. We then come home for a couple more games at home. We have Arizona. I just don't think that this team is that good. I don't think that this team is going to be that good. They had a couple nice picks in this draft, but you know what? I don't think it's going to be enough. I say Pittsburgh beats Arizona at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers as well. They don't scare me at all.
At all. There's nothing about this team.
No, I think God, our offense is so much better than theirs. We'll be able to score points.
Exactly. Derpy, what do you think about Arizona at home? The Cardinals.
Do you
Cardinals
need
is
like
always
do you need
interesting.
like an antacid or something? My
I think
man?
after that bacon, I got.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Derby, but my God, Ryan's over there dying.
Oh, you just wait. I've been holding back.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna leave you a present here soon.
God, I'm over at the studio this weekend too. Ugh.
I
Better
should
have
be
that
okay by
cleared up.
them.
I mean, the Cardinals. See, the Cardinals are similar to what the Jaguars are. Regardless, it could go either way, but I'm probably going to go with the Steelers here.
I don't even. You got Trevor Lawrence on one team, and the other team, I don't even think they know their quarterback's going to be.
That's what I mean. It's a sneaky
Kyler Murray.
team. It's
He
a
should
sneaky
be back
team.
by
What's
that
on there
time.
though?
I've lost all confidence in Kyler Murray. I think that he's gonna have to come back and have an amazing season for people to start taking him serious again. We'll see. Next, the Patriots come to town. This is always a tough game, no matter what's going on. They improved a little bit this year. We improved a little bit this year.
Jesse James caught that ball.
Jesse James caught that ball. I'm gonna go last on this one because I don't know who I'm gonna go with on this. Go ahead, Derpy. New England
I'm
at
actually
home.
going to go loss here.
Taking a loss to New England at home. Boy, that's a change in history. Mike, what do you think? New England at home.
I was taking the loss too.
Just because you'll see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Motivation wise, basically.
No, I just think, it's just going to be, I think it's going to be another close game, but I think all of our games are going to be close because that's how they were last year. All but 2 games were close games. And Lady Luck was on our side more.
We got to start scoring 20, 25 points a game easy. If
I know.
we have any of this to be a reality.
Yeah, I know, but I think I think we're just gonna lose this game. Not because oh God, it's Belichick and the Patriots. We can't beat them. No, I think it's just gonna happen. We're gonna lose this game. I'm
say we win.
pessimistic by nature.
I'm going W on this one.
I hope
the Colts on the road. The Colts on the road. I'm taking the win. We historically, I believe, are 10-1 against the Colts. I don't think that's going to change this year. I think we win this game in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm taking us all the way on that one.
Derby, Lucas Oil Stadium. What do you think?
I think we lose.
I'm going to lose. Ooh, interesting.
And then win the last,
All right.
3 in a row.
Well, we do have the Bengals, the Seahawks, and Baltimore finishing out the schedule. I'll start with this because I did go with the
real quick. P's going. Jaguars are going to fall off a cliff. Trevor's hair won't save them.
Rapunzel.
You know what? If Trevor's hair is not going to save him, he can send it over here.
Comment of the year right there, everybody.
Yeah.
Comment of the century.
So with the Bengals, I did say earlier as I made my pick, I said they're going to go to 1-1. I'm going to have to mark them for a win because I think we're going to beat them at home. Mike, Bengals at home. Bengals?
I think this is the year they get the sweep on us.
Okay.
I don't want it to be. Well, it just feels like they're due. They're due for a sweep of us, and I think this is the year they get it. But I think it's going to be another flipping close game. I
think we're going to go 4-2 in this division. We're going to take the L to Baltimore, and we're going to take the L to Cincinnati at home. Derpy, who do you like in this in the Cincinnati home game?
Derpy's talking.
I'm going to grab that panda by the neck.
I know, right?
I'm waiting for Derpy to talk, and all I see is that panda going like this, like he's talking shit.
I'm going to go Steelers.
With the Steelers on this one?
Yeah.
All right. So then the last 2 games, guys, they're on the road. That's tough. Especially when you're jockeying for position. You're trying to get in the playoffs. The most traveled team in the league is Seattle. They don't have to worry about that in weeks. I guess it would be week 17. We have to go there. We play Seattle. This is not a bad team. We get to face Devin Bush. This game is the one for me that could really go either way. It's another tough one. So again, let me start with Mike, and then I'll finish up the pick.
I hate to do it, boys. I hate to do it. I know how much we all love them, and I have to go against them. I have to go against Geno Smith.
Geno is a god.
It pains me. It pains me to go against Geno Smith, but I think Mitch Trubisky comes in relief now. No, I think we pull this one out. I if yeah, I think we pull this one. I just like Seattle doesn't scare me. DK
you know what? Me
Metcalf scares
neither.
me.
You know what? I'm doing the win too. They don't scare me.
DK Metcalf scares me, but I think we can contain him.
Yeah.
You're not going to shut him down, but I think you're going to do enough to where you're not going to lose.
And we did good this year, last year against number one receivers, and we didn't even have that much good stuff going on, in our defensive backfield. We made a couple nice.
There's like two games where our corners.
Of course, the guy from
destroyed.
Philly.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst game I've seen against us in a long time.
But no, but for the most part, we did pretty well.
Derpy, on the Seattle game, that's a win for you as well, right? I think you said the last three you're taking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of motivation.
All right. Finally, we finish on the road in Baltimore. I think we win this game. I think this game will have a lot of meaning. It'll have significance. I say this game is going to be the game that turns us back into a contender again after having a pretty good season. Gets back, we get into the playoffs. We're gonna, whatever happens in the playoffs. But this game, I'm putting a W down. Derpy, I'm going to come to you on this one. Baltimore on the road, last game of the year, and also because I picked the win last time in Pittsburgh for Baltimore, so I'm keeping with what I said. I'm going with the win. What do you think, Derpy? Baltimore on the road, last game of the year, time to be determined. Who knows? This game could be prime time. It could be a Saturday. What do you think?
We win. TJ Watt has a record-breaking sack night.
Okay. All right. And finally, Mike, the very last game of the year, the Baltimore, they had the Ravens on the road for all the marbles, probably, like I said, for both of our playoff lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I'll go with Pittsburgh.
Going with Pittsburgh.
I'll go with Pittsburgh, man. I think we got this one in the bag.
All right.
Like, they spoiled us at home. We're going to spoil them at home.
I like it. So you two gentlemen talk amongst each other while I add these up, and we'll get to our final predictions for as far as today. First, look at the schedule on what we think the Steelers record will be at the end of the season. I'll be just a moment.
No, Derpy.
Yeah.
So, just off the top of your head, going by like undrafted free agents on the team that we had, who do you think is going to be the surprise one that makes? Do you think we're going to have any undrafted rookie free agents make the team? Because that's
I have
always
to
like
look
the
at
buzz
it
in
again.
Pittsburgh.
But there was one. I think he was a lineman.
Ooh,
A linebacker. I think he was a linebacker.
A linebacker, because normally people look towards like the running back, because Fast Willie Parker. He was that undrafted guy that came in and took the league by storm. Became a very effective running back for a few years. Big part of winning Super Bowls. So yeah, but because everyone's talking about that kid from San Diego State. Now he's gonna come in and be. I don't see it. I think to me, you have to put Calvin Austin back there as your punt returner and kick returner. Now, if this kid can do well, and I think he's going to have to do more than just be a kick returner to make the team, because I can't remember the last time the Steelers had someone who was just a return specialist, whether it be punt or kickoff return. Like, most teams don't have that. You have to be like a Devin Hester type player. If this kid can turn out that way, I'd like to see it. I think it would be a great story, but if he can help the team, I think that'd be awesome. But right now, it's just like kind of looking at the UFAs that they brought in, or the undrafted rookie free agents. It's like, no one pops off the page right away.
All right. So we have the results. The results are in, just like the late Jerry Springer. The results are in. Let's see who's
R.I.P. Springer.
Let's see who's your daddy, Mike. I'm gonna start with Derpy. Derpy, your picks for this season. First call. Just get the schedule yesterday. Your final record for the Pittsburgh Steelers team is 12-5. 12-5, pretty reasonable. 3 more wins than they got last season. Mike,
I like it.
Mike's prediction. Mike's prediction lands him at 10-7, which is accurate for what he had, stated earlier in the show. Consistent. He said 9 or 10 wins.
I'm consistent.
And I'm just gonna keep going. I hate leaving ones out there like that, but we ain't got much time. Mike is definitely consistent. And my record at the end of the day is also what I had said earlier. I said 13-4, and I do believe the Steelers team will be 13-4 this season. So again, this is the first take. As time goes on, maybe halfway, through camp, maybe again at preseason, we'll see where we're at. But right now, this is where I want to be. I really feel that I feel confident with my picks, and as do everybody else on the show. So it's going to be really interesting, guys. We are getting late. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to go over today, and I'm not going to get into it just because we got to go. But I'm just going to throw out a few facts here real quick before we do get ready to roll. The Tampa Bay Rays, guys, they won 30 games yesterday. They're the first team in the major leagues to win 30 games. The Pirates start a series tonight against Baltimore. The Orioles are 24-13. The Pirates are 21-17, sitting in first place somehow. That game's at 7:05. It's going to be a Johan Oviedo versus a Kyle Bradish matchup. Pirates are 1-9 in May. It's probably not going to be good. I'm just saying.
No.
I mean, if you're following what this AL East is doing at all, and just what we've done so far, I think it's going to be pretty bad. So I hope I'm wrong. However, it just doesn't feel good. I could see us being 1-12 in May.
Yeah.
Getting ready to head to Detroit. But as I said, I hope I'm wrong.
Me too. But, hey, it's the Buccos, baby. They keep you on your toes.
And just because we do have these games over the weekend, I want to bring them up real quick, as I have earlier in the week. The XFL Championship is tomorrow, guys, 8:00. It's the San Antonio Alamo Dome. The South representing the South, Arlington Renegades. They play the North champion, the DC Defenders. Again, this is for all the marbles in the XFL. And then once that's over Monday, these players will be able to sign in the NFL if that be the case. Also tomorrow, the USFL, the Pittsburgh Maulers are back in action. The 1-3 Maulers travel to play the Michigan Panthers, who's 2-2. This game's at 12:30. That game will be on TV, so check that out if you get a chance. Pretty cool. I like watching the Maulers.
Me too. It
gives you a Steeler vibe.
It does give you a Steeler vibe, and my God, I just it's fun. I love the camera angles that they have.
Yeah, I do too.
The flies out.
And finally, in the WFA, the women on the 2-0 Pittsburgh Passion, they travel to Boston to play the Renegades. This game's at 6:00 tomorrow. And again, this is a rematch from the big conference championship last year. So I'm sure that's going to be a good game. And you know what? We're going to do a trivia. I don't even care if we're running past on time. This guy's is a trivia about the first team that we play this year, the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are you guys ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go.
Ready.
Barry Foster.
All right. P on the board. If you want to answer along, go right ahead. Here we go. San Francisco and the Steelers has met 22 times. These two franchises have met 22 times. One of these teams has a 12-10 edge over the other team. Which team holds that 2-game edge over the other team? Is it the 49ers or the Steelers? One of these teams have 12 wins. The other team has 10. Which one of them has 12 wins? Go ahead and take a second. We'll get your answers in just a moment.
Well, since it's been established on the show today, apparently, that I hate the Steelers.
Yeah.
That I hate the Steelers. So
we got the Browns episode. The Browns episode's coming up next.
Well, what was that new podcast I was working on? Great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett show.
Yeah. Had Deshaun Watson's smiling face right on the thumbnail. All right, I'm going to start with
Sam
Derpy.
Darnold in the background.
Yeah. Derpy, 49ers and Steelers have met 22 times in the history. One has a 12-10 edge over the other team. Which team leads this series? Is it San Francisco or is it Pittsburgh? And it's okay to be wrong.
No, it's not, Derpy. You got to be right.
I got to be 100% right on this. I'm going to go 49ers.
San Francisco, you say, has 12 wins against Pittsburgh, and the Steelers have 10 against San Francisco. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers.
All right, Mike. The Steelers and the 49ers met 22 times. One of these two teams have a 2-game edge. Who do you think has more wins, San Francisco or Pittsburgh?
Well, since Derpy went negative, I'm going to go positive. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, good pick. And I see on the board, P is saying San Francisco because Montana was running the 80s. I couldn't agree with you more. But that isn't why I would think this. Let me give you the answer, guys. One more time. Steelers versus San Francisco. They met 22 times in the history. One team has a 12-10 edge over the other team. All right, we're all locked in. The answer, guys, is the 49ers. The 49ers have 12 wins. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 10. But yes, I do agree with you, Pete. In the 80s, they were the dominant team. I hated the 49ers in the 80s. All the kids in my class, they loved them. And it was just that thing like Seattle 10 years ago. Everyone was a Seahawks fan. And now everybody's a Chiefs fan. So I hated it back then.
He's not wrong on that, everyone. He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong on that. But I did have to endure it. I had to go through the Jerry Rice years, the Roger Craig years, the Ronnie Lott years, and of course, Joe Montana. And that's where I would think probably they would have gotten that edge. But yes, the correct answer, guys, San Francisco has 12 wins against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers have 10 against San Francisco. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Yinzers.com, the number 2, DUMYINZ.com. Head on over there. We have links for everything to Dumb Yinzers, links to their merchandise store, links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email address. Well, what else do we have on there? Oh yeah, links to this YouTube page, links to Spotify, everything you need for Two Dumb Yinzers is at Two Dumb Yinzers.
And then on the back page, Mike's sexy pics, twodumbyinzers.com.
That's buried behind the paywall.
But yes, go check it out. A lot of cool stuff over there. www.twodumbyinzers.com. We are on all week long. However, next week we are going to our summer schedule. 7 days a week, half-hour shows. Mike, did you say that the start time will be the same?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Same works. 11:30.
11:30?
Yeah, do 11:30.
Okay,
gives me time to get.
Okay. So next week, everybody, summer hours starting at 11:30. However, once we do start that on Monday, it goes 7 days a week. You could check out the Two Dumb Yinzers live every single day throughout the summer. Great stuff, everybody. We can't wait. Derpy, what do you got first before we take off for the weekend?
I'm gonna tweak this one up. Hold on.
Okay. Are you literally
Always
tweeting it right
appreciate. Yeah, I'm no. Always appreciate the little things in life because it could be worse. You could be a Penn State fan.
Way to end the week, Mike.
There we go. We just sent Derpy to the waiting room at the end of the show.
Mike, do you have anything in response to this to send us into the weekend?
Yeah, it could be a whole of a lot better. You could be an Ohio State fan where you think you're an actual good program to play the SEC.
Oh man, this could be a whole episode. But hey, there you have it, everybody. Also, the show that we do today gets uploaded at 8:00 over on Spotify in podcast form. If you just have time or you prefer just to listen to the show will be up 8:00 this evening. Again, remember 11:30 Monday. We will be starting our new summer hours, but we are going to go the whole way through the week, 7 days a week. It's going to be a lot of fun, everybody. So for
yes.
Mike, Derpy somewhere.
It's Derpy somewhere in the ether.
The Two Dumb Yinzers, myself. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
See ya, and hopefully